Excellent. Hopefully, everybody can see this. I am really proud and excited to actually have Ayush presenting to us today. Bay Area Bird Photography Group has been in existence for a long time, and we have seen some spectacular photographs from all over the world. We had very, very good photographers from the Bay Area who have actually come and presented. And truly exciting is Ayush is a 9-year-old photographer from the Bay Area, and he's actually won awards. And truly, thank you for your enthusiasm and excitement, Ayush. It was
Thank
fun
you.
meeting you the first time, and
Yeah,
I'm really looking forward to your presentation. Okay, so it's all yours.
thank you. Okay, so my name is Aayush Ganari, and today I will be presenting my photography journey of my first year in photography and some behind the lens stories and some photographs to go with them. So, the agenda. So I'll start with an introduction about me, and then I'll move on to how I got interested in photography and specifically why birds and wildlife photography. After that, I'll share photographs and stories and behind the lens stories in two different sections, birds in California and birds of prey. And then after that, I'll share some learnings from my first year into photography, and after that, I'll share how can you what I am doing right now with to help the planet, and how can you help? So let's get started. So my name is Aayush Ganari, and I'm a fourth grader. I go to Oak Avenue Elementary School and I live in Los Altos, California. Some of my hobbies and interests are water polo, swimming, reading, and definitely birding and photography. My favorite subjects are science and math. I really like reading The Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter. I really believe that nature is the greatest gift to humans.
Hmm.
So so the beginning. Have you ever had a trip that changed you? I have. Over last year, I had two trips, one to New Zealand and one to Costa Rica, that totally changed me. So in New Zealand, we went to this place called the Opera. The Opera stands for Otago Peninsula Eco Restoration Alliance. They are working to save the yellow-eyed penguins, and sadly, there's only 1,500 of them, and only about 700 live on the mainland New Zealand. I saw how much they were doing to help the penguins. Not only were they helping the penguins and creating helping the penguins and driving awareness to them, as you can see on the left, they were actually planting trees and creating habitat for the penguins. On the right, you can see. If you want to learn more about them, you can check out their website. Um, just search up the Opera New Zealand and you will find their website. They are a really amazing organization. So here they take tours to raise funds for what they're doing. So on the very left you can see me and my family in this watching place trench where we are looking out so that we can make sure that we are not invading the penguins' habitat. In the middle, you can see this tunnel that also has habitat for the penguins. In the like this is usually where they'll nest all in the plants, so we have a chance to see them and again not invading their habitat. They're providing nest boxes for smaller little blue penguins that also live there. They're only about this tall and are also endangered. On the right, you can see one of the penguins. Um, this is the yellow-eyed penguin, and so it's in a rehabilitation center where they are helping it until it is ready to go back into the wild. So that was my New Zealand trip, and that really got me more interested in animals and nature in general. And then after that, when I came back, I started having more interest in nature and looking at the plants and animals around me. In my summer break, we went to Costa Rica. In Costa Rica, I was inspired by my mom, who I saw taking photographs, and I was like, "Can I please try the photographing?" And at first, she was very reluctant, because she was like, "Are you sure you're gonna do this?" And then I was like, "Yes, I am." So then she started lending it to me. I had heard about the presence of a black hawk eagle in the Monteverde cloud forest, and I was like, "Can we please go to see it? Can we please go to see it?" So then I finally convinced my mom to go and see it. So then we so then we went to the cloud forest, and it was about we got up at like 4 o'clock, and then we went to the forest, and it was like 6 o'clock in the morning. Nobody was around, and the air was cool and crisp. Suddenly our guide motioned for us to come over, and standing and only like about 10 feet in front of me was a beautiful juvenile black hawk eagle. I took some of these pictures using my mom's camera, including these two. And actually, when I got back, I submitted the right one to the Week Juniors Nature Photo Contest. And later, they let me know that I was actually the winner. And I was so happy. And that really encouraged me to keep photographing more. So then I also while we were waiting for the Black Hawk Eagle, I saw this small tufted flycatcher that would sit on this thin stick, fly out, grab a fly, and come back. I I I I took this picture, and one thing I like about this picture is the sharpness and how you can see the feathers, and I also like how you can see the raindrops starting to fall around it. One of my inspirations was this picture taken by my mom. It's a scarlet macaw, and I really love the burst and the pop of color and how the macaw seems how it's almost human-like, the way it's looking and the contrast of the red against the green. This is really one of my favorite photographs, and so this is one of my inspirations taken by my mom. So now you've heard about how I got interested into photography. So now let's talk about some behind the lens stories. So at the end of this, I'm going to ask you which picture or story was your favorite, and you can type it in the chat. So I call this photo the Mexican sage mirror. It's taken it's a a picture of a male Anna's hummingbird drinking nectar from a Mexican sage. The reason I call it the Mexican sage mirror is because it seems almost as if the hummingbird's head is mirroring the purple of the sage. One thing I felt really good about was the ability to freeze the hummingbird's wing. Because as you all know, the hummingbirds beat their wings really fast, so it's hard to freeze the wing. So I was really happy when I managed to freeze the wing beats like this. This I call the kiss of a trumpet. It's of a female Anna's hummingbird that is drinking nectar from this flower, this trumpet flower, and its beak is really in that trumpet flower. One of the things I like about this is, as you can see, the dead branch slowly giving way to leaves, and then the flower, and then the hummingbird, and it's like the and it shows that there's still life around in this barren place, because all it was fall, right? It was more like summerish fall, so then all the plants were dead around then, but it showed that there was still life in this place. I am honored to say that this photograph, out of 63,000 people, was what is the finalist in the Natural History Museum's photo contest in the 2025 photo contest, UK. So that really strengthened my confidence in photography, and I am so honored to have that to be a finalist. And I felt happy with this photo. I could see the wing was frozen more, and because in the other one you could see the one of the wings was kind of blurry. So I'm happy that this one was completely frozen, and I was improving. This is a golden crowned sparrow. I took it in Sonoma. So I was hiking in the morning when I saw this bird just sitting there, and the sun was shining on its head in such a way that it looked like it had a truly golden crown. I like how it seems like the bird, this is the bird's favorite place and it's resting there. Like how think of your favorite place that you like to go. This is what I think the bird has. And again, there's a contrast of the yellow head and the blurred green background. So that's one of the things I really like about this photograph. This is a spotted towhee, also taken on that walk. One of the things I like about this is how the towhee is the same color as the branch, and then there's this red eye in the middle of the towhee, and it seems as if the spotted towhee is gazing off into the distance. The bushes around the picture make it look as if you're peeking into the world of birds. So, I feel really satisfied with this photo. This is a picture of a scarlet tanager in San Mateo. So, scarlet tanagers usually live in Central America, but sadly, a storm and because of climate change and a storm, this scarlet tanager got lost and ended up all the way in a park in San Mateo. So, this photograph is telling a story, and so this photograph is telling a story. So that is one of the things I always aim to have my photograph tell a story. So if like the bright yellow of the tanager blends in with the green the bright green background, and and this branch is kind of jutting out, and this tanager is just perched there looking out. This picture is of a Townsend's wobbler. I took this on a hike. So one thing about this picture I like is that its arm is its wing is extended, and you can clearly see each um feather. It almost seems as if it's beckoning towards you, saying, "Come." And also, it seems as if the tanager is hanging from the branch. Again, there's life in this on all these dead plants. There, it shows that there's still life. This is a picture of a Prothono 3 warbler. Prothon like with the scarlet tanagers, so Protheno 3 wobblers live in the East Coast. But like with the scarlet tanager, this one somehow ended up in Santa Cruz. So you can see how the Protheno 3 warbler is kind of hiding under the leaf and it's looking up. The reason it's doing that is because it's looking for aphids. So the Protheno 3 warbler and the plant are helping each other. The Protheno 3 warbler will remove the aphids from the plant and let the plant stay alive. And in return, the plant provides the Protheno 3 warbler with food, the aphids, and also it provides the warbler with shelter. I really like how the head is bright orange. I captured the bright yellowness of the head and how that fades to white in the back of the bird. This picture is of a California towhee. So I was walking in my neighborhood during the fall time when I spotted this towhee. I immediately started to photograph it. One of the ideal things in this photograph is like the golden background because of the fall colors in the leaves. I also really like how the light filters in through the leaves and is shining perfectly on the bird and illuminating its features. This picture is of two final Phaeplas. So at first when my mom showed me that these were here, I was like, how do you even pronounce that? But then when I started researching, I learned that these are actually the only species of flycatchers that do not live in Central America. So then I became really excited to see it. When we finally saw it, I noticed that they kept sitting on this one branch. And then while I was photographing, I saw two Phainopeplas, male and female, sat on the same branch really close together. So I immediately took the picture. I like the composition of how the two birds are sitting close together and the red background of the grape plants in the fall time. This picture is of a herd of mule deer. So we were driving back from Sonoma when we saw this herd of deer on the side of the road, and I was like, Papa, stop. And then so this deer, it seemed like just as we had stopped to look at the deer stopped and looked at us. While the rest of the herd moved on, the deer held eye contact with me, almost like, hello. The back I really like how the background has a variety of colors. In the middle of the picture, the background has the greens of the bushes. In the top right, it has the purples of Mexican sage, and in the top left, it has the fall colors. So there's a variety of colors in the background. Have you ever heard the saying, the survival of the fittest? I have seen it. This picture, so I was photographing bald eagles at a place called Sandy Wool Lake. So lots of pelicans and cormorants were there. So this cormorant surfaced with a huge fish in its mouth, and immediately three pelicans jumped on it, scaring the bird. They all wanted the fish for itself. I never saw who got the fish. I don't know. During that time, the cormorant surfaced with a big fat fish in its mouth, and immediately the pelicans swam at it, trying to steal the the fish for itself. It was so fast. It only happened in a matter of moments. You could see the water droplets flying all around it. Although this is not a pretty picture and It's telling a story. It's telling the way of life. It's saying the survival of the fittest. So again, that was one of my goals to with my photographs to have them tell stories. Which one is your favorite photograph or story? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or 11? All the photos are numbered and you can type your answer in the chat. I'll give you about 1 minute.
Yes, good. Fine.
Very interesting, Ayush. Lots of people have different choices here. So beautiful photos, by the way.
Yeah, I'll give you about 15 more seconds
Hmm.
to type in your answers.
I believe you may not be seeing the responses because you're on
Yeah.
full screen. So
So I can see them actually. I can call them out.
go ahead.
So people have voted. Pavani has voted for 1. Arun, of course, you voted for 8. Lisa votes for 1. He voted for 10. Komal has voted for 9. And Tressa has voted for 5. Shweta is voting for 7. Rumi has voted for 5. Obi says 1. And Shweta also says it's very difficult to choose one though. So it's some all over the place, but I think number 1 actually has a few votes.
1 and
And
5 have the most votes.
yeah, yeah. But again, this is a spectacular collection.
Thank you. Okay,
What is your favorite in this?
if I had to choose, I would actually say 10.
Hmm. And you have a reason behind it, I
Yeah,
assume.
I liked how the deer is actually like peering into peering looking at me, cuz like the rest of these photographs, it's all like you photographing the birds in their habitat and they're not aware of you. Or well, they would be, but they're not showing the awareness. But this 10 is showing the deer is actually looking at you and um acknowledging that you're there. So that's why I would have to say 10.
Okay. Okay. And if you had to choose a picture with a bird, what do you think?
Um
We are a bird photography group here.
yeah, so I would say 2.
Yeah. I loved it. Actually, I like all the stories, but yeah.
Mhm.
Very cool.
Okay. So now behind the lens stories of my birds of prey photographs. So during the December break, me and my family had gone to Seattle to photograph the bald eagle migration. So we had taken this boat tour to go on the Skagit River where the bald eagles will migrate and um eat the fish. So on the left here you can see me and my brother on the and you can see how much I had to protect my camera because of the pouring rain. In the middle, you can see a video showing how much rain there is out there and how bundled up we have to be. On the right here, you can see a juvenile bald eagle sitting in one of the trees. Let's look at some photographs. This is a bald eagle sitting on this branch, this fallen tree jutting out. And even though there's this pouring chaos, the chaos of the pouring rain, this bald eagle seems perfectly calm and at home. This is that same bald eagle taking off. It made the perfect takeoff in pouring rain. I like how you can see that the talons are just about to let go of the branch, and the rain droplets all around it, and the wings are extended at to their full. On my February break, I had gone to the undiscovered country, Meadowlands, Minneapolis, the Sax-Zim Bog. The Sax-Zim Bog is a 300 square mile bog full to a variety of birds and animals. During the winter, every year, thousands of owls migrate down from the boreal forests in Canada to Minnesota. So, in the left and middle pictures, you can see me photographing these owls, and those two blue arrows are pointing to where there's actually an owl. You can see how bundled up I have to be. And on the bottom right, you can see me and my brother at the Saxon Bog Welcome Center. This is the first owl I saw there was the great gray owl. The great gray owl is the biggest owl in the world. It was about 2.5 feet tall. I love the facial discs around its eyes and the small beak and the ruffled feathers that they were still ruffled because it had just flown in. And you can see the intensity of its stare as it scans looking for prey. So some people think that owls are only awake during the night and they sleep during the day. That's not actually true. Some owls are diurnal and are awake during the day, like the great gray owl. So many people think that you have to get up in the middle of the night and go into the forest with lights to find the owl. That's not true. They're actually awake during the day too. So this is a picture of the great gray owl in flight hunting for its prey. So it was about 30 feet away from me when it just got up and started flying straight at me. I was just taking pictures with my camera, and then it came up and landed only a foot above me, and I was just like, whoa. And then I quickly moved away as to not invade its habitat. So that was an amazing experience I had. This is a northern hawk owl. One of the reasons it's called a northern hawk owl is because of the shape of its tail and how it kind of looks like a hawk. That owl is supported on this thin branch. So on the left here, you can see that picture of me and the arrow pointing to that tiny dot. This is one of the reasons I love my zoom lens. It turned that tiny dot into this owl. This is a boreal owl. So boreal owls are really rare, and in 2023, no boreal owls were sighted in Minnesota. This year, I was really lucky to see one boreal owl. You can see how it's huddled up in the cold and the snow is piling on its head. Again, over here, you can see that arrow pointing to that owl. This is why I love my zoom lens. It can allow me to get great photographs without having to invade the owl's habitat. This is a snowy owl. So as a big Harry Potter fan, I was so excited when I saw this snowy owl. And so we were just driving and we just suddenly saw it on the side of the road. My dad just saw this white blob and he's like, wait, stop, I think I see a snowy owl. And then
rises.
I
So oh, yeah. So I rode once, I know Rick Smith was with us, but he was way behind. He wasn't competing, whatever. But John Phillips, Jim and I were riding up this one hill. It was so dusty. I couldn't see anything and I just kind of went by the sound. Okay, now it's time for me to turn. It's kind of weird. Anyway.
Okay, so I just hummed the Hedwig's theme from Harry Potter, and suddenly the owl turned around as if it had heard the song, even though I was inside the car. And that's when I got the it was like opened its eyes, and then it opened its eyes a bit, and then it was like, huh? What? Nah. So that's when I got this shot. This is a picture of a long-eared owl. So during the start of our trip, we had tried to find the long-eared owl. It was about a 20-minute hike into the place, but we were not prepared. Our gear was not good enough, and it was like negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit. So we were really not prepared. We got lost, and when we finally got back, we ended up driving quickly to the nearest REI to get new clothes. At the end of our trip, we were like, let's try this one more time. So with better gear, we went back into the place and we actually found the owl. So we saw two long-eared owls. One was this one. This is the male long-eared owl. And then we also saw a female long-eared owl. The female long-eared owl was very fidgety and like as if you snapped a twig like 5 meters away, it suddenly took off into the forest. This other long-eared owl was very calm and let us take photos. So I like how the sunlight is illuminating half of its face, but half of its face is kind of in shadow. And you can see on its chest feathers how it's actually blending in. How if it was like right up against a tree, it would really blend in with the tree. This is a picture of a saw-whet owl. Saw-whet owls are the second smallest owl in the world. They're only about this big. So we had tried to find the saw-whet owl on the last day of our trip in Minnesota. So we had gotten into the place and we looked on every single tree around. And then we were about to give up when my dad found this small path leading up into the woods. So we went up a bit and we were like, oh, it's fine. We didn't see the saw-whet owl. It's fine. And we were about to turn around when my dad was like, wait, let me check this one last tree. And he looked up and the owl was staring right straight down at him. And he was like, Aayush, come on, I found the owl. So then I quickly took the picture. And then it was like 5 feet above us, so like you can see there were some branches around it, but you could still see the owl clearly. And it was like looking at me like this as if it was like, come on, Aayush, I was waiting for you all this time. Where were you? So the owl was only about this 6 inches tall, and it was so cute. Quiz. So there are two parts to this quiz. A, how many owl species are found in North America? And B, how many owl species do you think I have seen so far? Type your answers in the chat.
Answer the question.
No, still no answer.
Error type ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ.
Yeah.
I think everybody is Googling it right now.
They're Googling it.
I'm guessing.
Well, Google will help them with the last one.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, somebody says close to 20 species of owls, and some say 15.
What's the exact number of the close to 20? Like
Uh,
it could be anywhere from 15 to 20.
we think it's 24,
Oh,
and they're guessing you've seen about 12.
okay. Okay, I'll give them about 1 more minute to
Okay.
tell me when everybody's answered, okay?
Yeah.
Please?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. We're still getting some answers. Somebody says it's a dozen. A few of them are saying 19, and yeah, that you have seen 12.
Well, you should not count that answer.
Okay.
Don't
His brother
hold
who
the
is giving the answer.
Oh. Hey, Rohan. I like that idea though.
Hey, Rohan.
Yeah. So we've stopped. I think we stopped getting answers. So the
Okay,
closest is
so
20 and 24.
okay, so the answer to A is that there are 19 owl species found in
Oh,
California. I
in
mean, sorry,
California.
not in California, in North America. So
Lovely.
congratulations to everybody who got that. And then B, how many owl species have I seen so far? A few people were very close. I have seen 11 owl species.
Ooh,
So
nice.
I'm gonna name all of them. So I've seen the great gray owl, the northern hawk owl, the boreal owl, the snowy owl, the long-eared owl, the saw-whet owl. Those were all the owls I saw in Minnesota. And then I've also seen a great horned owl, a burrowing owl, a short-eared owl, a western screech owl, and a Pacific screech owl. So that makes 11 in total.
Fantastic.
So I met somebody in Minnesota. So after their trip was complete to Minnesota, they saw 18 out of the 19.
Oh,
And they're going to where is it? I think they only need to see the eastern screech owl, so they're like looking for where that's found.
wow.
Mhm. So now let's move on to 10 learnings from my first year in photography. So, number 1, blend in. So we all know that birds and wildlife are very sensitive to noise. So if you can, set your shutter on silent mode as to not scare away the birds and wildlife. Also, don't make any sudden movements as they also may scare away birds and wildlife. 2. Respect. Habitats are sensitive and take years to make. Invading them just to get a perfect photo can kill plants and disturb animals. That's why most of you have long zoom lenses, so you should take advantage of those to make sure you don't have to invade the animal's habitat. 3. Live in the moment. Take a moment to enjoy and soak in the beauty of nature. Hear the birds call and notice their movements in favorite plants and trees. So mostly after I've gotten this perfect photo that I like, I stop taking pictures for like about 5 minutes and I like just watch these birds. 4. Awareness. Be aware of other birders around you, birders and photographers around you. Enjoy the moment together, but make sure you're not in anybody's way so that everybody can witness the beauty of nature together. 5. Prepare. Research and prepare and look at the location on maps. Check the weather before going. Always carry water and a snack in case you get hungry or thirsty. 6. Count and check. Before you leave, check all your belongings. Lens cap, binoculars, phone, gloves, water bottles, snack wrappers, and coffee mugs. We don't want to be littering. Once, when I was photographing bald eagles in this place called Sandy-Will Lake, where the cormorants and pelicans were, I left one of my gloves there and I never found it. 7. Capture notes. Take a few minutes to capture notes and like the date, time, and the species. So in years later, you may not remember everything, so that's why it's helpful to have notes so that you can know what happened. You should update eBird or another resource to help with data collection. 8. Organize. Make the time to cull and copy your photos. It can be overwhelming, so you should find a way that works for you. Because if your cards are full and 2 days later some really exciting bird is spotted, you won't be able to go because you don't have enough space on your cards. 9. Share. Be kind and share your pictures and stories, and it helps drive awareness and brings joy to the entire community. 10. This is the most important one. Accept nature as it is. There will be times when you may not be able to see a bird or capture it in a perfect shot. It's okay. It's nature's way, and we must accept it as it is. Once on my Minnesota trip, we spent 12 hours of driving and scouting and looking all around, and we saw 0 owls. The next day, guess what? We saw 3 different owl species. So, what I am doing some things to help the planet. So, using my photographs, I am creating small products like calendars and cards, and I'm selling them. And all the money I earn I will donate to organizations like the World Wildlife Fund or the opera, as I mentioned earlier. So I'm driving awareness in the community and raising the funds to save the endangered animals. During my STEM Expo, I created this website where I was showing the importance of data, and I would use data visualization to track the populations of 3 species. And as always, I'm continuing to learn and practice with my mom. So if you I publish monthly blogs on my website, which is memorieswithrasa.com, and you can type in /blog to get to the blogs. My Instagram, my mom created an Instagram for me so I can get my photos out to more people. It is Save Wildlife for All. So does anybody have any questions? You can unmute and ask.
Perfect. Well, Ayush, when people are just collecting thoughts, you are an extremely good storyteller. I
Thank
really,
you.
I really enjoyed the stories and the enthusiasm you have for them. So
So I would also
beautiful.
like to thank everybody who has supported me along this journey.
Yeah.
So my family, my school, my friends, they've all given me the support I've needed to continue on this journey. And I also thank you, Sridhar, for
Oh,
giving me this amazing opportunity to present.
oh, you're very kind. Thank you. I think we all need to thank Santa Clara Valley Bird Alliance.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a great organization, and as you're looking for things to help, this is also another organization you should look into. Just read up their website.
Yeah,
They
definitely.
they do some amazing work for restoration. Yeah. Yeah, beautiful. And so maybe I can start a question and then see if other people have other things to follow up.
Okay.
As I see your photographs,
Yeah.
I mean, these lenses and things are heavy. How do you manage? How do you manage carrying them?
So usually in my camera bag, I only take what's essential. So I have a camera bag that has the entire camera that's about this big fit in, so there's no need to take the lens off and everything.
Okay.
So I'll fit in the camera bag, and then I'll also have like the card cases, and then I'll have an extra battery in case mine runs out.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll also I have a teleconverter on my lens, so I'll have the case for that teleconverter.
I see.
And I also have like my lens cover is always on there, is always on the camera when I'm not using it. So
And
I'll have
mom and dad are your caddies. They carry your
That's
camera
what
while
I
you're
was
there.
gonna say. Rest everything is with me.
No, I like that actually. Hey,
so I only like take what's essential.
But he does
yeah,
carry his own gear basically in the bag.
wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful. Because these lenses and everything, including the zoom lens and everything, they get pretty heavy, right? Especially
Yeah.
in hikes. So yeah. No, that's one
Well,
really amazing. The story is great. The pictures are phenomenal. Your enthusiasm is very contagious. I
thank you.
think I loved your presentation actually.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And
do
once again, I would like to thank everybody. So all of the people who are watching this, who have joined today, I really thank you for supporting me, and I would like to thank my family
yes.
and my friends and my school, and also you, Sridhar, for giving me this amazing opportunity.
Thank you, Ayush. Let's give another minute or two for people to unmute and ask. I feel there's so many questions. I would love to go out on a photo shoot with you.
Yeah.
That's a kind of excitement I see and feel. It'll be really nice to do that one day.
There's
Yeah.
a question on the chat.
Well, can you please
Oh
read?
yeah. Rumi is asking us, actually saying beautiful pictures and great presentation. What's the next bird you hope to photograph?
So the next bird I hope to photograph. So when I go to India in June, I really want to see the great Indian hornbills. They are a beautiful bird as like I've seen, and I am really looking forward to trying and finding them. And
Awesome.
I'm also looking forward to seeing all the other colorful birds in India.
Yeah. Where are you going to look for the Great Indian Hornbill?
Um um I don't know the exact location.
Okay.
Mama, do you know?
It's in Kerala. Uh,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
I don't know, depending on the time frame, whether it's an ideal time to go or not. He is wanting to go, but probably the weather and everything, I don't know how much it will allow, but we'll try to see.
Got to see it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Those are beautiful birds.
true.
Absolutely beautiful. And there's a really interesting story behind. I'm hoping to invite a Indian bird photographer friend who's going to present next year.
Oh
And
yeah,
he has some
that
amazing
would be
photos to
amazing.
share, actually. Yeah.
Hey,
So Tressa says, your photos are amazing, of course. Your stories made them so Ayush. I loved listening to your stories.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, this is yeah, I really enjoy this actually.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
hi. Hey, this is Vinayak and Shweta here.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. So really good presentation and really loved your storytelling, Ayush,
Thank you.
and uh, I really appreciate the fact that your parents have inculcated this curiosity in nature and wildlife for you. That's really
Yeah.
amazing and inspiring. My question was just, I'm curious to know, like, has that helped make your like classmates and friends and other kids of your age also get interested in like birds and wildlife in general? How has their
Well, it's brought more awareness. Like, some people have started noticing, like, and they sometimes ask me, Ayush, do you know what bird that is? So I think overall, I've brought a bit of more awareness to my class.
That is amazing.
Love
That's
it.
so heartening to hear, and that's great. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Love it. And for people who don't know Shweta and Vinayak, they are extraordinarily good birders, very good photographers, and they have presented before. I'm hoping they are going to present in the next season as well. And they actually lead groups here in the Bay Area for photography. Okay, so don't hesitate to reach out.
Yes.
Thank you.
Questions. So great, Pavani says, great presentation. I loved your enthusiasm and curiosity about nature and birds and animals.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, really wonderful. I know we are a bird photography group, and I see that we actually can share some photos about not of birds only, but just to get the enthusiasm about nature is just very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we would love to join any bird photography tours or even, just for bird
Yeah,
watching or any of those.
Like,
Like to join and
yeah.
contribute and volunteer, as I said
yeah.
earlier as well. Uh,
Yeah, excellent. And what we will do, and I think this will be a plug-in for the next month. So, like I said, this session happens once a month on the first Wednesday. What I will do for the month of May typically, and for September, is we have what's called bring your own photos. So I'll send an email out for people to send 10 pictures that they like to share, and they send it to me, and I put a presentation together, and then I'll call out the photographer's name, and then they talk through the 10 photos. So this year, what I really wanted to do is take time for photographing during 2025. So the first 4 months of the year, May and April, and actually May is really good time for birds in the Bay Area. So if
Yeah,
you have a chance, go out.
I've noticed some migratory birds like
Yeah,
goldfinches returning.
yeah. In the past, we used to do is we used to say share any 10 photos you want, and I'm hoping like this year we can do 10 photos that you have taken since January this year, for example.
Yeah.
So I'll be sending out a quick reminder this week.
yeah.
So please do join and tell your friends. This is a free event, and as you can see, awareness. I think I really enjoyed your 10 things that you're making people aware of. Uh, what a great way! I mean, to educate people around you. Fantastic.
Thank you.
All right. If we don't have further questions, Ayush, thank you so much for joining, and thank your parents also. And
Thank you so much,
yeah,
everybody who has
Thank you,
joined
Sridhar,
today,
yeah.
and
for giving
everybody
this
who will watch
opportunity
this.
for Ayush
Oh,
Yeah.
to
thank you.
present. And yeah, we would love to join the next tours or any of those things and be part of the community. So, yeah.
Fantastic. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that the recording is going okay. I'll only know after I shut down the call and then figure it out. And once the recording is done, we'll post it on YouTube. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good night, Ayush. Good
Good
night, Suchita.
night.
Right. Right.
Bye.
Bye.
And, thank you, everyone.
Okay.
Thank you.